President Trump tonight declaring a new war on drug cartels with a multi-nation military coalition he says will track down and destroy narco-terrorist networks operating across the Americas. The move coming after recent U.S. operations targeting suspected narco-terrorist networks in the Caribbean and South America. Trump promising this new coalition will, quote, eradicate the criminal cartels plaguing our region. It's all happening at the first Shield of the Americas summit in Miami. More than a dozen countries signing on to America's counter-cartel coalition. NewsNation's Mills Hayes tracking the details for us tonight. Mills.
Natasha, despite the focus being on the war in Iran, President Trump made it clear that the U.S. military is at the ready to tackle cartels and drug traffickers in the Western Hemisphere. 12 Latin American leaders joined the president at the first Shield of America summit, and in total, 17 countries will make up America's counter-cartel coalition, with the presidents of El Salvador, Argentina, Ecuador, Dominican Republic, Honduras, Bolivia, and the president-elect of Chile at the summit Saturday. The president saying that the heart of the military partnership is a commitment to using lethal military force to destroy the cartels. And Trump said that the U.S. had amazing weaponry, and these Latin American countries just need to tell the U.S. where cartel operatives are.
But we're working with you to do whatever we have to do. We'll use missiles. If you want us to use a missile, they're extremely accurate. Boom, right into the living room. That's the end of that cartel person.
Trump said that the only way to defeat these enemies is by unleashing the power of our militaries. On Friday, at the request of Ecuador, the U.S. military carried out an operation against a suspected drug smuggling facility inside the country there. And the president also said that the epicenter of cartel violence in the Western Hemisphere is Mexico. But Mexican leadership was not there, and Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum has repeatedly rejected proposals to allow U.S. troops in the country to fight the cartels. Just 2 months ago, the U.S. captured Venezuelan President Maduro to face drug trafficking charges in the U.S. Trump formally recognizing the Venezuelan government this week praised interim President Delcy Rodriguez for working with them and saying the U.S. has been able to take out tremendous amounts of oil. Cuba no longer getting oil from Venezuela, now on notice with the president saying that great change will soon be coming to Cuba, and added the country is in its last moments of life as is. But Trump says they're negotiating with the Cubans and believes a deal will be made easily. And Kristi Noem making her debut as the new special envoy to the Shield of Americas after the president nominated Oklahoma Senator Markwayne Mullin to replace her as the Secretary of Homeland Security after bipartisan backlash.
Our objectives are going to be to destroy the cartels, to go after these narco-terrorists that are destroying our people, killing our children and our grandchildren. We're also going to keep our adversaries at bay.
Noem told Latin American leaders now that America's borders are secure, the U.S. wants to focus on helping our neighbors with their borders and challenges. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said that Noem will be involved with the Latin American leaders on a personal level to ensure that the work talked about will continue. Natasha.
With that live report tonight, thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.